Welcome to my channel Biolectures. Here I will tell you about the gel electrophorese. Here I will explain principle, procedure and the function of the chemicals that are used here. First you have to understand what is electrophoresis. Electrophoresis is the separation of charged molecule on the basis of their size, shape and mass under electrical field. Here gel is used. Two types of gels are used here. First is agarose, second one is polyacrylamide. Agarose separates the size of DNA 75 to 30,000 base pairs, and polyacrylamide is having smaller pore size than agarose, so it will separate less than 75 base pairs. It separates smaller DNA and protein. Here I will tell you about the agarose gel electrophoresis only, and polyacrylamide I will cover in my next video, so subscribe for the notification. Principle of gel electrophoresis. It is very simple that the DNA backbone is made up of phosphate which is having negative charges. When you apply electric current, it will move towards positive electrode, that is anode, and start separating on the basis of their sizes. When you solidify agarose, then it forms matrix and creates pores. Smaller size DNA will travel longer distance because of their smaller size, and larger DNA cannot move through the pores for longer distance. So largest DNA to smallest DNA will start separating according to their size. Now the procedure part. Agarose can be made 0.5% to 2%, as you have to separate the DNA of which side that 0.5 to 2% agarose solution has been taken. If you want to prepare 1% agarose, so you have to take 1 gram of agarose and 100 ml of buffer. Then you have to microwave to homogenize the solution. Cool it down for 55 to 60 degrees Celsius. Then add ethidium bromide. Ethidium bromide is a intercalating dye that intercalates between the base pairs and fluoresces under UV transillumination. Then you pour agarose solution on your gel plate and place a comb to create well where you can load your DNA solution. How to isolate DNA and what is the function of the chemicals for the isolation of the DNA, I have told you in my previous lecture, and the link is given in the description box. Then when agarose solidifies, then wiggle out the comb and submerge your gel plate with the buffer. Connect your anode and cathode and start electricity. Now the detailed part of explanation. It is said that V is equals to EQ by F. That means mobility of molecule depends upon the electric charge, that current that we have applied. Q is the charge that it carries and F is the friction coefficient that depends upon the size, shape and the mass of the molecule. Agarose concentration plays very important role here. 0.5 to 2% agarose concentration is taken according to the size of the DNA that you have to separate. Larger DNA size wants larger pore size, so less concentration of agarose should be taken. Smaller DNA size wants smaller pore size to separate, so higher concentration of agarose should be taken. Next is buffer. Buffer plays very important role here. First, when you start your current, motor molecules start dissociating in H plus ion and OH minus ion. To maintain the pH, buffer is used here. Then second one is the charged molecule in the buffer carries the electricity for the electrophoresis. Two types of buffer, TAE or TB is used. TAE generally used tris base acetic acid EDTA or tris base boric acid EDTA. The differences between TAE is having lower buffering capacity. That means if you run it for longer time, it starts heating up early. So you cannot run it for longer time. And it is having higher conductivity. That means DNA moves faster in that. So larger DNA will start separating quickly. And the recovery of the DNA from the gel is easier here. TB is having higher buffering capacity. That means it doesn't start heating up early, so it can be run for longer time, and T cannot be used for more than once. But TB, because of the higher buffering capacity, it can be used more than one time, and it is having lower conductivity, so DNA moves slower in this. So smaller size DNA separates easily, and you will see a very nice resolution of the DNA. But there is one difficulty, that boric acid binds with sugar backbone of the DNA. So it is very difficult to recover DNA from the gel. Third one is ethidium bromide. Ethidium bromide intercalates between the base pairs because it is having rings that resembles with the base of the rings of the bases. so it intercalates between the bases and fluoresces under UV transillumination. Ethidium bromide plus DNA absorbs UV light at 254 nanometer or 366 nanometer and emits 590 nanometer light. So you will see its band fluoresce under UV transillumination. Fourth one is voltage. Voltage is very important here. If you apply very less voltage, you will see band broadening because of the diffusion of the DNA. If you apply very high voltage, then you will see the overheating of the gel and you will not see any DNA on your gel. Fifth one is a loading dye. It is very important to mix loading dye with your DNA because it is having glycerol, which is very viscous fluid, and it gives the weight to the DNA to settle in the well. Otherwise your DNA will run out of the well. Bromophenol blue and xylene cyanol, these two are the tracking dyes because it is having negative charges, so it will move with the DNA. Bromophenol blue tracks the smaller size DNA, 400 base pairs, and xylene cyanol tracks the longer size DNA, that is 4000 base pairs. Bromophenol blue is having blue size, so you can see your gel while it is running. If it is up to 2/3, then stop your gel run. If you liked my explanation, please subscribe and share my channel.